So on with the reading of the Proverbs. So I think we'd done Proverb 1. Now, depending on how much conversation goes in between, we'll do whatever we have to. But this Proverb 2 is the rewards of wisdom. So, and I'm reading from the Bible. I'm not putting anything in of on my own. If I'm reading, it's what is in the Bible. So, my child, learn what I teach you and never forget what I tell you to do. Listen to what is wise and try to understand it. Yes, beg for knowledge, plead for insight. Look for it as hard as you would for silver or some hidden treasure. If you do, you will know what it means to fear the Lord, and you will succeed in learning about God. It is the Lord who gives wisdom. From him come knowledge and understanding. He provides help and protection for those who are righteous and honest. He protects those who treat others fairly and guards those who are devoted to him. 9. If you listen to me, you will know what is right, just, and fair. You will know what you should do. You will become wise, and your knowledge will give you pleasure. Your insight and understanding will protect you and prevent you from doing the wrong thing. They will keep you away from people who stir up trouble by what they say, which is really in reference to what I've just been talking about. Those who have abandoned a righteous life to live in the darkness of sin, those who find pleasure in doing wrong and who enjoy senseless evil, unreliable people who cannot be trusted. So the thing is that if it is that our thoughts create our reality, our future life, if you are with someone who treats others badly, then you will be stuck with those images. And the images that you look at in your mind, those mental images, are going to have an effect on you. Now, a friend of mine used to play a game with people. Once he discovered this, he'd play a game with people. He'd go over and he'd sing or whistle a particular tune, and he'd do it several times until the person got a little bit irritated by it. And then he'd wait a little while, and then he'd go over and he'd sing the tune again. He always said that later in the day, after several hours had passed, the person would usually come up to me and say, why did you sing and play that tune? Because it's been going through my head ever since. So this is a very light-hearted example of what happens if you allow people to have a place in your mind. What they say, what they believe, what they vocalize will be in your mind, and it will play on it instead of the creative, positive thoughts that you should be shaping your future with. So, I'll continue. You will be able to resist any immoral woman who tries to seduce you with her smooth talk, who is faithless to her own husband and forgets her sacred vows. If you go to her house, you are traveling the road to death. To go there is to approach the world of the dead. No one who visits her ever comes back. He never returns to the road of life. So you must follow the example of good people and live a righteous life. Righteous people, people of integrity, will live in this land of ours. But God will snatch the wicked from the land and pull sinners out of it like plants from the ground. So obviously the lesson is that whoever you associate with will have an effect on your thinking. And how many times have we heard the mother of a child that got in trouble say to the priest or the judge or the magistrate, "He's a good kid, he just got in the wrong company." And there is a good argument for this, that when someone gets in the wrong company, people who are not righteous, who are not living a righteous life, and what happens is that the same thoughts that those people were expressing will then become thoughts that are played over as old memories in the mind of those who are perhaps easily influenced. So it's important when you're seeking wisdom to go to those who are expressing wise thoughts, and that's a very important thing. And I found it for myself. So it goes over the idea that in order to be living a righteous life, you must be in the company of people who are like-minded and seeking also to live a righteous life. Let me go on and see if we can get one more in, which would be Proverb 3. Advice to the young. My child, don't forget what I teach you. Always remember what I tell you to do. My teaching will give you a long and prosperous life. Never let go of loyalty and faithfulness. Tie them around your neck. Write them on your heart. If you do this, both God and people will be pleased with you. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Never rely on what you think you know. Remember the Lord in everything that you do, and He will show you the right way. Never let yourself think that you are wiser than you are. Simply obey the Lord and refuse to do wrong. If you do, it will be like good medicine, healing your wounds and easing your pains. Honor the Lord by making Him an offering from the best of all that your land produces. If you do, your barns will be filled with grain, and you will have too much wine to store in all. I take it that this is a metaphor, or can be seen as a metaphor, that if you offer in terms of your behavior, your thoughts, your actions, how you speak about others, up to the Lord, then your reward will be in proportion, in like what you return. So if you are out doing good things, if you are out doing good deeds, if you are helping others, if you are in service to the Lord, and think of the Lord as being the right, if you are in sync with the right, then you will create a life which is righteous. And if you create a life which is righteous, you will not actually be in trouble. So I'm going to end off there, and I'll hope that you've enjoyed what we've done, what we've said and discussed, what you've heard discussed, and that you'll come back for the next Proverbs in series. Thanks for being with me.